The Empire's Mistake. Grand Admiral Vexthor stood before the Galactic Empire's High Council, his crystalline form reflecting the purple light of the chamber's ancient quantum chandeliers. 12 council members, their bodies adorned with the living metal that marked their status, gazed down at him with mild amusement. "These humans," Vexthor said, his voice resonating through the chamber, "have achieved in decades what took other species millennia. They must be contained." High Counselor Ziraval waved a dismissive tendril. "Admiral, the Empire spans 50,000 worlds. These humans occupy merely their home system and 3 colonies. What possible threat could they pose?" The Admiral's crystalline surface rippled with frustration. "Our deep space probes have detected something unprecedented. They've mastered fusion power in just over a century after discovering atomic theory. Their quantum computing capabilities are advancing exponentially. Most concerning, they've begun experiments with dimensional physics." The council chamber erupted in laughter. Councillor Mekthar, his metallic skin gleaming, leaned forward. "Dimensional physics. They've barely mastered basic space travel. Our civilization was exploring dimensional theory when their ancestors were still hunting with pointed sticks." Vexthor activated a holographic display, showing Earth's rapidly advancing technological progress. "That's precisely my point, Honored Council. Their rate of advancement defies all known models of species development. And there's more. Their entertainment, their literature, their very culture is obsessed with scenarios of facing overwhelming odds. They prepare for war even in times of peace." High Counselor Ziraval's amusement faded slightly. "What exactly are you suggesting, Admiral?" "A preemptive strike. Quick, decisive, and overwhelming. Show them the Empire's might before they become a genuine threat." The council deliberated briefly before Ziraval spoke. "Very well. You have permission to conduct a demonstration. Target one of their colony worlds, something to show them their place in the galaxy." Vexthor bowed, his crystalline form catching the light. "As you command." 3 days later, the Admiral watched from his flagship as the Imperial fleet emerged from hyperspace near the human colony of New Aurora. The planet's meager defenses, a few orbital platforms, and atmospheric fighters, barely registered on his sensors. "Begin the demonstration," he ordered. The Empire's quantum cannons fired, their energy beams slicing through New Aurora's defenses like light through fog. The orbital platforms exploded, raining debris onto the colony below. Emergency broadcasts filled the communications channels as millions of humans fought for survival. But something was wrong. The humans weren't panicking as expected. Their responses were too organized, too measured. Even as their colony burned, they were executing predetermined evacuation protocols. Then came the message from Earth. A single transmission, broadcast on all frequencies in perfect Silaxian. "You should have finished what you started." The Admiral's crystal structure vibrated with unease. This wasn't the response of a primitive species facing superior technology. This was something else entirely. Within hours, all human colonies went dark. Their communications ceased, their ships disappeared from sensors, and their remaining orbital facilities self-destructed with suspicious precision. Earth itself became a silent sphere, showing no signs of the panic or chaos that should follow such an attack. In the following days, the Empire's border outposts reported strange sensor readings, glimpses of ships that appeared and vanished, energy signatures that defied known physics, and transmissions in languages that even the Empire's most advanced translators couldn't decode. 1 month after the attack, Admiral Vexthor stood again before the High Council, his crystalline form dulled with stress. "We've lost contact with 17 border outposts. Our long-range sensors are detecting massive energy signatures throughout human space, but we can't identify their source. The humans are building something, Honored Council, something big." High Counselor Ziraval's living metal skin had lost its luster. "Impossible. They're a primitive species. They." A junior officer burst into the chamber, protocol forgotten in his panic. "My lords, We're detecting thousands of dimensional ruptures throughout Imperial space. The humans, they're everywhere." As alarms blared throughout the Imperial capital, Admiral Vexthor realized their terrible mistake. They had thought to teach humanity its place in the galaxy. Instead, they had taught humanity the consequences of holding back. The Empire's worst nightmare was about to begin, and they had no one to blame but themselves. Silent preparation. Director Kira Yamamoto stood in the heart of Project Prometheus, a vast underground facility beneath the Mariana Trench. Holographic displays filled the 2-mile-high chamber, showing real-time updates from humanity's hidden shipyards throughout the solar system. 5 years of absolute secrecy had transformed Earth's deepest ocean into humanity's greatest fortress. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of countless sleepless nights. Colonel Hassan appeared beside her, his neural interface projecting data directly into the facility's systems. "Phase shift technology is fully operational. The Zalaxians still think their quantum sensors can detect anything in space. They haven't realized we've learned to step between dimensions." Kira nodded, watching as automated factories constructed ships unlike anything humanity had previously imagined. The vessels weren't just weapons. They were humanity's answer to an empire that thought size alone meant strength. "Show me the Nightshade prototype," she ordered. A hologram materialized, displaying a sleek vessel that seemed to drink in light itself. Unlike the crystalline ships of the Zalaxians, the Nightshade-class destroyers were biomechanical marvels, incorporating living metal reverse-engineered from recovered Imperial debris. "Neural integration is at 100%, Hassan reported. "Every ship can link directly with its crew, turning human intuition into instant action. The Zalaxians rely on quantum computers. We're giving our ships human souls." Deep beneath Mars, another secret stirred. General Sofia Rodriguez supervised the final tests of the Legion project. Millions of combat drones, each smaller than a human fist, swarmed through testing chambers. These weren't simple machines but extensions of human consciousness, allowing a single pilot to control thousands of units simultaneously. "Neural load testing complete," her AI assistant reported. "Pilots can maintain full control for up to 72 hours without significant mental strain." Sophia smiled grimly. The Empire thought they had encountered a primitive species. They would soon learn they had awakened something far more dangerous: human creativity unleashed from all constraints. In the asteroid belt, Dr. Viktor Petrov floated in zero gravity, watching his life's work take shape. The dimensional forge stretched for kilometers through hollowed-out asteroids, its quantum reactors powerful enough to tear holes in reality itself. "Begin final test sequence," he ordered. The forge hummed to life. Energy coursed through conduits of exotic matter, and space itself shuddered. A test asteroid, massive enough to dwarf an Imperial capital ship, simply ceased to exist, not destroyed, but shifted into a dimension where matter had no meaning. "Weapon synthesis successful," his team reported. "The phase shift cannons can bypass any known form of shielding." Back on Earth, in a facility hidden beneath the Antarctic ice, Admiral David Chen reviewed the final pieces of humanity's response. The room around him was filled with holographic representations of Imperial worlds, each one meticulously mapped by stealth probes that had spent years gathering intelligence. "Show me the primary targets," he commanded. Red points of light flared across the galactic map. Shipyards, command centers, fuel refineries, every crucial node of the Empire's military infrastructure. The Zalaxians had spent millennia building their dominion. Humanity had spent 5 years learning how to dismantle it. "Sir," his strategic AI interrupted, "we're detecting increased activity in Imperial space. They're growing suspicious of the silence." Chen's expression hardened. "Let them wonder. Every day they waste trying to understand our silence is another day we grow stronger." In orbit around Jupiter, the first of humanity's new warships underwent its final trials. The HSS Retribution, nearly 15 kilometers long, represented everything humanity had learned about warfare in 5 years of focused evolution. Its hull incorporated technologies that would have seemed like magic a decade ago: quantum entangled communication arrays, dimensional shift drives, neural interface systems that made the ship an extension of its crew's will. Captain Diana Patel stood on its bridge, neural interfaces connecting her consciousness directly to the massive vessel. Through the ship's sensors, she could feel the vacuum of space, taste solar radiation, dance between dimensions. "All systems report ready," her executive officer announced. "The fleet awaits your command." Diana closed her eyes, sensing the thousands of ships hidden throughout the solar system. Each one was a testament to human determination, a product of 5 years of unrelenting focus. The Empire had fought to break humanity's spirit. Instead, they had forged it into something new, something terrible. The Imperial High Council convened an emergency session, their living metal bodies reflecting the chaos of their emotions. High Counselor Ziraval watched the tactical displays with growing horror as humanity's true strength revealed itself. "How?" she demanded. "How did they advance so far in mere years?" Counselor Mekthar, his usual arrogance shattered, accessed the latest intelligence reports. They turned their entire civilization into a weapon, he realized. Every resource, every mind, every moment of the past 5 years, all dedicated to our destruction. In Earth orbit, Admiral Chen watched the first phase of humanity's revenge unfold exactly as planned. The Empire's military infrastructure was being systematically dismantled, its defenders thrown into chaos by weapons they couldn't understand or counter. "Sir," his AI reported, "the Empire is attempting to mobilize their main battle fleets." Chen smiled coldly. "Let them come. It's time they learned the price of underestimating humanity." As the first day of humanity's strike drew to a close, the Empire's mighty military machine lay in ruins. Their shipyards burned, their fuel supplies dwindled, and their command structure crumbled. But this was just the beginning. The real war was about to start, and humanity was no longer interested in showing mercy. Empire's fall. The imperial capital's 3 suns rose on a scene of unprecedented chaos. The mighty Zalaxian defense fleet, 10,000 ships strong, formed a desperate barrier around their throne world. Their crystalline hulls glittered in the morning light, a final display of defiance against humanity's approach. Fleet Admiral Akiko Tanaka stood on the bridge of the HSS Nemesis, her neural interfaces humming with data from 5,000 human warships. The Empire's last line of defense looked formidable, until one considered what humanity had become. "Begin broadcast on all Imperial frequencies," she ordered. Her message echoed across every Imperial ship and world. "For 5 years, you watched our silence and thought us broken. Today, you learn what humanity does when it evolves beyond fear." The human fleet moved as one, their dimensional drives creating a spectacle that defied Imperial physics. Ships phased in and out of reality, their movements choreographed by AI systems that processed combat data faster than thought. Grand Admiral Vexthor, watching from his flagship, felt his crystalline form crack with stress. "Launch everything," he commanded. "Every ship, every weapon. Show these upstart humans the true might of the Empire." The space between the fleets erupted in energies that could have shattered planets. Imperial quantum cannons fired waves of destructive force that would have annihilated any conventional fleet. The humans responded with technology that shouldn't exist. Phase shift fields activated automatically, allowing Imperial fire to pass harmlessly through human ships. Where Imperial shields met human weapons, reality itself seemed to tear. The phase shift cannons didn't need to overpower Imperial defenses. They simply ignored them completely. Captain Marcus Wong led the first strike wing, his consciousness linked with 1,000 Legion drones. The tiny machines swarmed through Imperial formations like a metal tide, finding weaknesses that had existed in Imperial ship design for millennia. "Target their quantum core regulators," he commanded through neural links. "Show them how thoroughly we've studied their weaknesses." Imperial capital ships began to die, their mighty forms torn apart not by brute force, but by precise strikes at vulnerabilities the Empire didn't know they had. 5 years of analysis had revealed flaws in technology the Zalaxians had thought perfect. High Counselor Ziraval watched from the Imperial Palace as her civilization's greatest fleet crumbled before human ingenuity. How? She demanded of her advisors. How did they advance so far so quickly? The answer came from an unexpected source, a junior historian, his living metal form trembling. Accessed ancient records. They didn't advance, my lord, he realized. They transformed. Our attack 5 years ago didn't just motivate them. It forced them to reimagine what was possible. In orbit, the battle continued to unfold like a deadly dance. Human ships moved with impossible precision, their crews' neural interfaces allowing reactions faster than thought. Imperial tactical computers, designed to counter conventional warfare, failed completely against human unpredictability. Admiral Tanaka directed the symphony of destruction with cold precision. Deploy the Lazarus Protocol, she ordered. Across the battlefield, human ships began to emit strange energies. The Imperial fleet's quantum communications networks crashed, replaced by a single overwhelming signal. Every screen, every neural interface, every quantum projector showed the same images. Humanity's resurrection from the ashes of their burned colonies. You thought to teach us our place in the galaxy, the broadcast declared. Instead, you taught us to transcend our limitations. Watch now as your empire falls to what you created. The human fleet's formation shifted, revealing massive ships that had remained hidden in dimensional pockets. The HSS Retribution led a line of super dreadnoughts, each one carrying enough firepower to level continents. Final warning to all Imperial civilians, Tanaka broadcast. Clear all military installations. What follows is between us and those who thought to break humanity's spirit. In the Imperial Palace, panic spread as the full implications became clear. The humans weren't just winning. They were doing so while minimizing civilian casualties. They had spent 5 years planning not just the Empire's defeat, but its precise dismantling. Grand Admiral Vexthor watched his mighty fleet die by inches. Human weapons struck with surgical precision, destroying military targets while leaving civilian infrastructure intact. It wasn't just a defeat, it was a demonstration of absolute technological and tactical superiority. My lord, his last functioning tactical officer reported, they're deploying something new. Energy readings are off any known scale. The human super-dreadnoughts moved into position around the Imperial capital. Their massive forms began to pulse with energies that distorted space itself. The Empire's last hope died as they realized the truth. Humanity had learned to harness dimensional forces the Empire had never imagined possible. All forces, Admiral Tanaka commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 5 years of preparation. Execute final phase. Show them what humanity has become. The fall of the Empire had begun, and with it, the dawn of a new era in galactic history. Humanity had not just survived, they had evolved into something that would reshape the very foundations of civilization. Dawn of Unity. The Imperial Throne Room, a vast chamber of living crystal that had witnessed 10,000 years of absolute power, now held a different kind of history. Admiral Akiko Tanaka stood before the kneeling Imperial Council, her simple black uniform a stark contrast to their ornate living metal forms. You expect execution, she stated, her voice carrying through the hushed chamber. That's what you would do in our position. That's exactly why we won't. High Counselor Zaravol's crystalline form trembled with confusion. We don't understand. You have the power to destroy us completely. Why show mercy now? Tanaka activated a holographic display, showing scenes from across former Imperial space. Human ships distributed aid to damaged worlds. Medical teams treated injured civilians of all species. Engineering crews rebuilt vital infrastructure. The Empire's greatest failure wasn't attacking us, she explained. It was believing that power only flows from fear. You never understood that true strength comes from unity. Above the capital planet, the human fleet had transformed. The massive warships built for vengeance now formed a protective shield around Imperial worlds. Their weapons powered down, but their presence served as a reminder of how quickly humanity could shift from peace to war if necessary. Director Kira Yamamoto, now representing Earth's diplomatic corps, stepped forward with a holographic document. These are our terms, not for surrender, but for transformation. The terms appeared in the air, written in flowing Xylaxian script. Complete military disarmament of the Imperial forces. Formation of a new galactic council with equal representation from all species. Sharing of human technological advances for peaceful purposes. Joint scientific missions to explore dimensional physics. Free trade and cultural exchange between all worlds. A united defense fleet with crews from every species. You would share your technology? Asked a younger council member, his crystalline form shifting with surprise. Even after what we did. Especially after what we did, came a new voice. Grand Admiral Vextor, the man who had ordered the attack on human colonies 5 years ago, was escorted into the chamber by human guards. Don't you see? He continued, addressing his fellow Xylaxians. They're not just defeating us. They're showing us a better way to exist. In 5 years, they achieved what our empire couldn't in 10,000. True unity of purpose. Around the galaxy, the transformation had already begun. Human scientists worked alongside Imperial engineers, teaching them about phase shift technology and neural interfaces. Medical teams shared advanced healing techniques that merged human biology with Imperial crystal technology. In orbit above Earth, the first joint human Xylaxian research station took shape. Its design combined Imperial crystal architecture with human innovation, creating something entirely new. Teams of scientists from both civilizations worked together, exploring the boundaries of dimensional physics and neural technology. Admiral Tanaka faced the Imperial Council again. You thought you were teaching us our place in the galaxy. Instead, you forced us to realize that humanity's true strength isn't in our weapons or technology. It's in our ability to adapt, to unite, to transform adversity into opportunity. The holographic displays showed more images, human and Xylaxian children learning together in new schools, joint construction projects rebuilding damaged worlds, combined research teams making discoveries that neither civilization could have achieved alone. The empire as you knew it is finished, Tanaka declared. But your people don't have to suffer for their leaders' mistakes. Together, we can build something greater than either of us could imagine alone. Throughout the galaxy, the message spread. Humanity hadn't just conquered the empire. They had transcended it. The weapons of war were transformed into tools of peace. The barriers between species began to fall. 5 years after the Empire's attempted demonstration of power, the galaxy witnessed a different kind of demonstration. The first joint fleet launched from Earth's shipyards, its crews a mixture of all species. The ships themselves were marvels of combined technology. Imperial crystal matrices merged with human neural interfaces, powered by dimensional drives that bent reality itself. In the renamed Chamber of Unity, formerly the Imperial Throne Room, representatives from every species gathered to sign the new Galactic Charter. High Counselor Zerival, now serving as one voice among many, spoke the words that would be remembered for generations. The Empire taught the galaxy to fear. Humanity taught us to evolve. Together, we learned to thrive. As the three suns set on the former Imperial capital, the galaxy looked toward a future no one could have imagined 5 years ago. Humanity had done more than survive. They had shown the galaxy a new way to live. The age of empires was over. The age of unity had begun.